What's good, everybody? It's your girl. You already know Jay coming to you right now from the house. This time ain't outside, though. You know, sometimes I like to go outside and chop it up with y'all. But this time, we got a special guest. Man, it's been years since I seen this dude, like, for real. Like, I'm talking about middle school. It's been a minute, but it's definitely a pleasure to see him. And it's crazy how we link back up, though, because he just hit me up on Facebook like, yo, what you got going on, man? And you could tell it was genuine. I'm like, man, let me link up with him and see what he got going on. And man, that conversation turned into something that I know is going to really, really change my life. And I know it's going to change y'all. It's going to be a blessing to you all. But I ain't going to do too much. I'm going to let him introduce himself. And we'll get into why he's here with us.
I'm Jeffrey Ruffin, entrepreneur, financial advisor. I do, I guess, a multitude of things. I have a women's shoe store, a tax service, but I guess my day job, so to speak, I'm a financial advisor for a Principal Financial Group, and that's what I do on a daily. I teach people how to get to financial freedom and set them up for success financially. Whether it's retirement, whether it's, making sure they're protected and their family are protected through insurance, estate planning, just setting people up financially in the best situations that I can set them up in.
So, where you from? You know what I'm saying?
I'm from here, Birmingham, Alabama, 33rd Street, Avenue 1, Ensley.
Right.
I graduated from Midfield High School. I went on and got my accounting degree from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. So, one of the things I love to tell the kids is that it's not where you started at, because I started from Ensley,
Okay.
and I got a degree from one of the best institutions in the nation.
Yeah.
And not only a degree, but a major that was challenging, but I just took on the challenge. And like growing up, my whole mindset was I knew where I was, and I knew I couldn't stay there my whole life. So that was my motivation to get out, to make something of myself. That was my fuel, and that's my why. Gotcha. People always ask why you do what you do. That's my why.
You just didn't want to be in the same.
I didn't want to, and also once I kind of got into, I've been blessed to experience a lot of fortunate people, or be around a lot of fortunate people. In college, I actually worked inside of a Church of Chicken. I was looking for an internship in my senior year. The owner of the Church of Chicken was looking for an intern at the time. Got wind out that I wanted an intern. He needed an accountant. I was an accountant. I ended up working for him for like 3.5 years. So for like 3.5 years, I saw on a daily basis a guy that owned 16 Church of Chickens, $1 million stores all over the state. I got to see everyday operations, wow. The ins and outs, the bad stuff, the good stuff, and I did the books, so I learned stuff like payroll and food cost and, code, accounts payable, account receivable. So I learned, in college, I had a hands-on experience while I was actually trying to grasp concepts in class. And just seeing, and that taught him, he taught me a lot about wealth, because I knew he was wealthy, but yet he never looked like he was wealthy. Gotcha. But there's certain disciplines that he had that I look back on now, and that's why he was wealthy. Because he knew where he wanted to go. He started out with one store. Right. He started out with one store in Tuscaloosa, and it grew. When I left, he was buying 2 more. So from one store over 20, 30 years to 16, he knows something. I call them clues. Yeah. So I picked his brain. How you do this? How you operate this? How you operate that? Kind of how you get in the situation that you was in. And so I took some of the, some of that knowledge and started applying it to my own life. Like, he was the owner of a store. He didn't have to come to work every day. He was there every morning. He was there. He had a routine. So they go back to the discipline that, like I said, I saw. certain traits that individuals that were successful had, and I started implementing them same traits to my own life, my own profession, and went from there.
Right. So from then you learned about, it was at that point like you got a little bit of a taste dealing with financial literacy.
Oh,
like,
yeah, so
you know
I've always been a numbers
did.
person. I've always loved numbers. But so I love their job. Like I say, I like their job.
Right.
Because I love working with numbers. But with that job, I was insulated to, I couldn't deal with people.
Gotcha.
And so that's where it was like, I like what I do, but I don't love what I do. And so some stuff started happening. He started setting off his, because he was getting ready close to retirement. So he started setting off his church's chickens, went stores and whatnot. And the bank came calling. I'm like, I'm going to move back to Birmingham at this point. I didn't graduated. Why not? So I went into banking not knowing anything about banking. It was just, I didn't know what to expect. It was a job. I'm here. And so when I got into banking, it was, first thing I did was I became a sponge. Same thing I did when I was working at that place. I became a sponge. So not only did I soak up knowledge about how the bank works from an operational standpoint, as far as just the career opportunities within the bank, I soaked up the knowledge. How did you do this? How did you get there? What did you? I asked questions. I saw and that's really, like, I've always been a sponge. I rather know a little about a lot than know a lot about just a little. Because now I'm well rounded. Now I'm not, I don't ever know anything about a subject, or I can't even talk to a person about a topic. And so what's inside the banking industry, I became to where I could run a bank, I could tell you how to be a teller, I could, loans, investments, whatever the case may be. And so after a while, I sat back and observed on what I wanted to do. And I love the fact that I was able to save people money and make people money. And so when I sat back and looked at what I wanted to do, it was, I'm at a place now where I'm going to leverage my resources. You telling me if I want to be a financial advisor, you're going to pay for me to get the license to be one. You're going to give me the knowledge I need to be one. You're going to give me resources so I can be a successful financial advisor.
Right.
So that's what I did. I took that path. It wasn't fun all the time. It wasn't, great all the time. But it had its benefits. And I always told myself this quote, you do what you got to do now so you can do what you want to do later. And so it was a lot of times I didn't want to do the stuff. I didn't want to go home after work and study. I didn't want to do, the call nights and all the extra stuff that you always ask why I'm doing this. And that was my whole mindset, to where I'm doing what I got to do now. So later on in life, I'm doing what I want to do.
If you gave them, they gave you what?
So most 401k plans have a match program.
Right.
And so what that means is, if you put this percent in, I put that percent in, for the most part, up to a certain percent. And so when people say, no, I don't do all that. And so I make it as simple as possible for them, to make them get the concept of it. As far as, if you gave me $50 and I gave you back $100, would you give it to me? And most people say, yeah, I give it to you. That's the same concept. So if you put in 5% of your check and they matching it with 5%, that's free money. Right. Why you miss out on free money when you're trying to save for retirement anyway? Right. So with stuff like that, I have to teach people that, especially people that been at jobs for years, because, not to get too deep into it, because they're vested at that point. So not only if you leave that job, do you get to take the money and the interest that you can get off that money, you get to take the free money that the company that gave you too. And so it's just stuff like that I try to, the simple basic stuff that could change a lot, with individuals, whatever. Just like, even from life insurance, or having an emergency savings fund, just different little concepts like that.
So why don't we just go and get into the examples then? What about the charts?
Oh, I got you. So
Yeah, we got a chart here for y'all.
most of the average, especially that I know, like $30, $40, $50 in student loans. Like, how much would your life be if you didn't have to pay them student loans and you took your parents, or your grandparents took their money to fund your college, and after that, you had your emergency fund where you're gonna take your 3 to 6 months of your living expenses and you're gonna put them in the savings account. Because once you start investing, you don't want to ever touch this money. This your money that's growing, and because you don't want to ever touch that money. So if life was ever happen or hard times was that ever happen, now you could pull from this money and still be stress free. And so that's kind of the basics of the wealth concept. And as far as you want me to touch on the credit standpoint, the average person would do this right here. Let's say they got 3 credit cards. One of them, the minimum payment $25, one of them $50, one of them $75. They, say, well, I'm gonna pay off my debt. The average person is gonna do this. They're gonna put a little bit towards next payment, $10 extra towards the $25. They may put $50 extra towards that one, another $25 extra towards that one. But to do it a quicker way is to we call snowball your debt. What you do is you take the same amount of money you was paying extra and you wrap it into the smallest bill. So like, for example, over here, you was paying, $35, $100, and $100 here. So if you do the math, the extra, all of it together, if you take the extra from what you was paying and plus it times the minimum payment your payment you was already paying, it'll be $110. You put $110 towards that minimum payment of $25 or whatever the case may be, gonna pay off your debt a lot quicker than that $35. And then the next thing what you do is after you pay that off, you're gonna take this $110 and add it to the minimum payment of your second debt, and you're gonna pay that off. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add both of those together and add it to that $75 to pay that third debt off. We call it snowballing debt. It's a great concept. It worked for me. It got me out of debt back when I had my debt. And it's just something simple that a simple concept that most people get. It can get more complicated, but we'll go into that another time. I get some other concepts I can show you, but we'll go into that another time. But so that's just little stuff like that. I like to sit down with people and, like I said, I like to play with numbers, because at the end of the day, that's all it is. Just playing with numbers. I'm at the point now in my career where it's not about always working with the CPAs or the business owners or the accountants and the professors and people who may seek me out because they already have that. Somebody already told them that they I can say need someone like me, but they need to talk to someone like me. I'm trying to talk to the people that don't get told they need to talk to someone like me, or don't get told some of the stuff, the simplest stuff that they need, And I see it every day, like wow. And so that's kind of what I got going on.
That's what's up, man. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Best believe I will be a success story. I'm definitely going to be.
You're definitely my project right now.
Yeah, and I'm willing to be there. He gonna stay on me. I'm gonna make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. God is doing some amazing things in my life, and I want y'all to witness what's going on. But in order for me to get to that place, like, I have to be willing to meet God halfway and say, you know what, I do want this, and to show to make you understand, not that He's going to love me any less or that He's not going to bless. He blesses us all the time. But put it like this. Why would we expect God to bless us with $1,000 and we can't budget or manage $100? We don't know how to save off $100. We don't know how to invest off $100. Same thing that He's saying. We have to. Faith without works is dead.